Welcome to Macrocode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So here I have an API. So if I just go to show you, this is an API that we just created. We have products. I can try to retrieve products here. If I just click execute, it will give me a list of products that I have. As you can see, we have these products. We have Macrocode, EFCO1, EFCO2, EFCO3. So these products of ours, if I try to go also, we have another endpoint to create a new product. I'll just come here and say EFCO, or I can actually say here product 1. Then I can give the price. Then I can execute this. So you can see our product has been executed, save the data to the database, and we have it has been assigned an ID 6. We also have another endpoint to retrieve a product by an ID. I'll just provide here 6. That's the ID of the product. And I can get the list of products, which is, that is get the product ID. And so here I can get the product details. As you can see, we have 6, product 1, and even the price. Then I also have the update. So I can come here, pick this particular record. Update, I can supply ID 6 here. Then I can update our record here, and I can say this is product 1 updated. So if I execute this, then our product will be updated. So if we try to retrieve here at the top, then we'll realize that the details is actually product 1 updated. Then we can also delete. So if we come here and say delete, we can supply our primary key. And if I execute it, then our product will be deleted. We try to retrieve that particular product here, then we will be able to get nothing. So you can see the product is not found, so that means it has been deleted. So those are the endpoints that we have in our API. But I want us to see something. So if this is how you are creating your API and you are using this particular method, where we have our controllers handling a lot of things. So in ASP.NET Core API, if your controllers are handling business logic, database calls, and validations, then you are doing it wrong. So I want to show you how you can clean your controller and make it a real production ready. So if you are doing this, then that is wrong. So let me show you the clean way used in real production apps. So the first thing that we need to do, you can see this is our get products method. We also have the get product by ID. We have the put. We have here the post, and we also have delete. So what I want us to do, this particular controller, it has some bad things that are happening here. So we have direct DB access. It is actually even hard to test, and it's not as scalable. So this works, but it becomes a nightmare in real projects. So the first thing that we need to go and do, I want us to create here a folder. Then you're going to create a folder here called services. So call these services. Then on these services, so let's create here an interface. So I'll create an interface here called, so let me create a class, then choose interface. Then we call this iProduct service. So there we go. Then here, I want us to have some methods. So I'll just do here. So you can see I have here this product, we can borrow it. So here I have get all products, then get product by ID. We have create product, update product, and then delete product. Then down here, I want us to have product. So this one will have a class. This is an implementation service. I'll create here. So you can see it is actually giving us the options. So here we have our application DB context. We need to import it. Then as you can see, these are product service implementing iProduct service. We have these methods. Then we have our constructor. Then here on a get all products, then we have return await products. Then as no tracking, we need to import entity framework core. Then we have get product by ID. You can see it is returning a product ID. We have here product create product is saving the product. Update product, you can see it is doing this. Then delete product, that is it. So we've created now an interface. So we have this interface here. Then we have product service that is implementing some of the methods that we have. So here we have our interface, that is iProduct service. You have the get products, get product by ID, create product, update product, and also delete product. Then we have this implementation here. So we have this get all products, get product by ID, create product, update, and also delete. So after doing that, what we need to do is we need to go to our program.cs. Then here I'll just come and say builder dot services, add transient. Then we have iProduct service and product service. Then I'll just import here services. Then you can see this is our interface, and we also have our implementation service here. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to go to our controller. Then I'll just come here and say public. I'll do public. Then I say here read only. Then I just say I product service. Then I say product service. I'll just say here product service. Then after doing that, I can have my constructor here. I just do iProduct service, then product service. Then I'll just do here underscore product service, product service. So after doing that, then what I need to do here, I'll just come here and say variable products. I'll do here products, then equals to, you can see, then this should be products. Then I can come here and say, so here you can see this, you say get all products. Then here I'll just say return products. So it return okay, then you just do that. So this will be, you need to say here return okay, and that's what we need to do. So you can see here return okay, then we get all our products. So the next thing that we need to do here is get product by ID. So here we'll also do the same thing. We'll just say here we replace this with the product service. Then we say here get product by ID. We supply ID and we return that particular product. Then here I'll just say here I can do here okay, and we can do this. Then we can have here put, this is update. Then I'll also come here and say, so we don't need all this. So here I'll just say this one, and I can say here await, and can pass this await, then update product, and I can supply our ID here. So you can see here is going to, if we go to our update, we are going to say here, so we need to come here, get the product and supply. Then we don't need now all this. So I'll remove. If we check on our update product, does it return anything? So you can check here update and save changes. It's just so you can just come here and you can return here. Let's just come here and say return okay. So that's fine. So you can see. Then you also have post product. You can come here and say await. I'll do this, and you can say here create product. If we check on create product, does it return anything? So create product returns a product. So we'll just come here and we say variable product equals to, then here, so you can say saved product. Then here we'll say return. We say okay, and we are able to return the saved product. Then delete is the same case. We just have this. We'll come here and we can also have this here. So we'll say, I don't know if delete. So let's check our delete product. Does it return something? So you can come here and you can see delete doesn't return anything. So you can just come here and say return, okay. And do we for the delete method, are we passing anything? So you are passing the ID. We'll just come here and we say pass this ID. So if we check here, we are still doing find. So we don't need to find here. So I'll just remove this, and I can say here await, then delete product. So here on our controller, we need to remove anything that is accessing our database. So you can see we don't have any database access here. So you can see here we also don't have anything. So we've removed that. So also on our DB context, we can actually remove this DB context here. And you can see you can remove this. And this is how our controller now looks like. So we have our product service. So we are able to get all products, get product by ID. So let me just remove this. Update product, and you also have post and delete. So let's see if our API is still working. So I'll just relaunch and see how the API looks like. So if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video. I'll go to the API. So if I refresh our API, so this is how it looks. So let me see if we can get the list of products. So if I execute, so we should be able to get our list of products. So you can see nothing has happened. We still have the list of products that we wanted. So for the post, we can create a new product. I'll come here and say macro code testing. So this is testing. So that's our product, and you can have these as sorry. You can say this is 50. Can do here 50. It's okay. And if I execute, then we should have our products saved. So you can see here we have a macro code testing. We have get product by ID. If I do here 7, I should get the product ID. So you can see this is the product details. If I put, I can also update our product. I'll just come here and say I'm updating the product ID 7, supply the details, and I can say this is macro code testing, update. And if I come back and say retrieve, this should be corrected. So if I execute, so you can see this is already corrected. I can now delete our product, come here and say 5, and you can see this is fine. So if I come here and retrieve, say retrieve the product that we've just deleted, so you'll see that we don't have anything. So where is it? So you can see we still have the 7. So let's see if we try to execute, to delete again. Delete. We said here 7, not 5. So if we execute, then that's fine. If we try to retrieve here, we should not be getting any record. And you can see this is what we need. So you can see the product is not found. So ensure that your controller doesn't have any direct DB access, and ensure you are able to have your controller in a manner that it's scalable and easy to test. So in case there is any change that you need to do, you'll just come to services and you can alter anything within this particular service without affecting your controller. So I think that is it for today. If you are still writing your controller in the manner that we've just found our controller, then you can update to this particular new approach. So that is it, and see you in our next episode. Bye.